Alright, new product demo.
I got 20 packs of fun.
Show us what we got, bud.
Coupons.
Do they pay us? No, but it should work on this for our needs. This truck, we're going to block out all the tan, alright? We're pulling this trim because we can paint it easier, right? I don't want to have to pull a whole truck in and paint some trim. We'll have to pull a whole truck in and paint this shit, but whatever. Rocker panels coming off. This is what we came into. New product demo with the old Cubon. Show us what we got.
Well, I gotta find that out myself.
Well, I mean, with the part pool.
Just broken bracket.
It's all plastic, you know, new vehicles and shit. Busted to shit. What do we usually do on something like that, Jeremy?
Yeah.
We probably have to clean up the surfaces,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, you can do a plastic weld, or you can use super glue or whatever. But
How's super glue work?
by melting it together, oddly enough.
Well,
But
I guess the bigger generalization is, how well does that work usually?
not well.
Does not end well for all children involved. So we saw a demo on this shit. We played with it in the store. Jeremy got all bleary-eyed and hopeful. So we're gonna see how this shit works.
It's totally Christmas.
So what do you got? 2 parts?
Yep. I suggest wearing gloves. I'm just not that smart.
No, you're not that smart. That's alright. I still like you.
I say 10 seconds. That's what they say.
So right about now then, huh? No. We'll come back and check this out in a bit. Okay, this isn't on a display in the body parts stores. This is us using it in the field. You get a powder and you get a liquid. I don't know. Don't know if it'll work or not. It's glued together though.
Yeah. I think it'll be fine.
That'll get it mounted back up. That's all we need.
Still flexy too.
Alright, so kind of give us a lowdown. What'd you do? What'd you go through?
Well,
And what would you do different?
what I ended up doing was putting the powder down first and then putting the glue on top of it and then mixing it together. That seemed to work a little bit better. They told us that you're supposed to put the glue on first and put the powder on it, but it didn't seem to work. So
as per instructions, do exact opposite.
but it seemed to work out. So
Well, it's together. It'll snap back onto the body.
that's actually flexing the top part. Not just
Is it
the-
now? Okay. So, there you go. Get that package out, show it off, just because it's hard for us to find something to quick fix small repairs, okay folks? Quick fix small repairs. Do we get money from these guys? Fuck no. Would I like money from these guys? You bet. But such is life. It's supposed to do it. Catch you next time on new product demos. We will update you at a later date, see if we love it or hate it. So far we like it okay. Catch you on the next one.
Could probably put that in a little better spot.
We got bumpers off. We'll be peeling the plastic parts off of them. The prospect of powder coating is actually starting to look bleak. It's more expensive than it was supposed to be, basically. We'll end up taping this off. This isn't going to come off. It's glued on. There's no fasteners. Well, there are fasteners, but I think it's still glued on. That will stay. This will all get dealt with appropriately. We'll get that pinstriping gone. Next is the running boards. And we got to go pick up the rocker panel sections that we need for repair. That's where we're at. Aim is by the end of the day I want to have the running boards, rocker panels, everything basically stripped off so we can start putting back together the vehicle. Cutting up the rocker panels, getting those in, sectioned in. Interesting thing about this truck, the full rocker panels, unless I go direct to Ford, and they're well, quite expensive if I do, aren't available. So what we got to do is get standard cab rocker panels. There's a lot of steel that we can save. It's not that bad. This guy caught it in time. We're going to be able to save the inner rockers, the top side of the rockers. We're just going to section what we need to. The reason we're sectioning it in is the same reason we did on the red 2000 or 2001 Ford, whatever it was. The owners do not want to forego the expense of pulling 4 doors and lining 4 doors up. It takes hours. It takes man hours. If we can spend a third of the time cutting and fitting and making it right that way as we would to pull the doors off and take the whole rocker panel out, it's going to sell more times than not. We had 3 pesky bolts. We don't have 3 pesky bolts anymore. With the option to bust out plasma cutter and blow it out, or do the gas. I want to keep the same mobile right now. Got the running boards off. So where we're at on this is we got all the plastic for the most part stripped off, what we need stripped off. There's a couple pieces of molding that we're going to actually affix back to the truck more properly, because it'll lead to more body work if we negate them as the owner had initially suggested. He doesn't have a strong concern one way or the other. Just turn into whatever was simplest for the effect we're going for. Next up, we're going to have to get the pinstriping off of it. We can prep up all the plastic pieces to shoot with adhesion promoter and paint black. Yeah, we used my little friend for getting those bolts. It's all strung out and left hanging out. That's got to cool off before I can put it away. We don't use oxygen acetylene very often, especially with the plasma cutter now. But oxygen acetylene is, it's a chemical fire rather than electrical heat. I'm going to do enough welding on it. Once we get in here stationary and down, we'll disconnect the battery and everything, prevent any kind of arc through the electrical system. But the nice thing about oxygen acetylene is you can take it anywhere. You don't have to have power. It's nothing fancy, no frills, straight up fuck shit up and go home. So we blew the bolts out, we got the running boards off. Owner's going to do a different apparatus, don't know what yet. He's still looking at that himself, and he'll probably install those himself from the sounds of it. Or he'll come back at a later date, pay us to install them. We're waiting on rocker panels. The sections we had, we don't have the resources apparently other folks do. That's cool. He found what we needed for parts. The owner did. Contacted me yesterday. We powwowed about timetable, which is now going to be skewed because of parts and availability and things that I didn't realize was going to be an issue when we started this, nor did he. We laid it out on parts being available, blah blah blah, as all conversations go. So we should get the rocker panels tonight. At that point, it comes from the owner. We actually just credit him on his bill accordingly. I'm not going to start cutting those rocker panels off until I got the new steel. Essentially what's going to happen is we're going to be treating and killing the rust from where we cut it off of the old inner rocker and repairing the old inner rocker while I'm trimming the new rocker panels and getting them seated. We're going to pull the front fenders off to do that. So right now we're kind of at a deadfall. We may go so far as to get these parts washed up, ready for paint we'll leave the prep and all that, the final details, till we go to paint them. With the space we've got, it'll get painted in 2 batches, all the parts, and then we'll bring the truck in and shoot the bottom section of the truck that needs shot. That's where we're at, kids. Come back later. New day, new beginning. Hear that? That's progress. So what step are we at now, Jeremy? I see you cutting and chopping and ears plugged like a good citizen.
Just cutting this off. I gotta get underneath, grind it down, see where all the spot welds are.
Is it important to grind it down?
See what you're doing, yeah.
Okay. So you'll find the spot welds and then
Drill them out.
so you don't just chisel them off.
Yep.
Some guys just go in and brutalize that shit with a chisel.
I can do that
Probably not the best for this process, huh?
too. No. Keep it clean. As clean as you can. Makes it easier.
See, we got rust. We're gonna get rid of all of that shit. What Jeremy's talking about is all these spot welds. He's gonna grind this down. Some of them are concealed still, especially with the rust that puffs up around it. We'll drill those out. We won't drill through the inner rocker, okay? The inner rocker is pretty stable still. It'll get treated. Moving on.